southern end. It's all cleared now. So we cleared right up from this mark. You look up the hill, you should see the other mark there, and then towards the east on the fence, that will be the final mark. So this southern boundary is cleared. The whole plot basically now is cleared. We just pushing back to the northern boundary all the way up towards its eastern flank, and of course we're gonna go over to this is lot 8. We're gonna go over to 58 shortly. A preliminary run has been done for the 6-foot access pole, utility pole access right to the main road, right to the 3-phase pole. So on the machine on the way out, we already gassed up this morning. The machine on the way out will just rake off this again, and then cross the street and start work on 58. So as I told you last night, there wasn't really that much left after succession of work yesterday. So we're just doing a little pushing off and a little cleaning up, and we're going across Central 58. So there again, I hope you can see that line mark demarcation, but everything's on schedule, so we should be definitely finished by the end of today on both lots. Okay, so we pretty much stand up this end here now, and moving towards the other lot across the street. So this lot is basically not this side, and we're gonna look to move forward now onto the other lot and get that cleaned up. So if you take a look, if you just rotate around, you will see, the scope of what has been done. You can see the scope of what has been done there. Okay, so it's 9:40 now, and we have officially finished the first lot. We're gonna move on over into the second lot now. You can see the vehicle moving across, or the excavator. So everything is basically excavated from this area. You can see there there should be a path there by that cove, which is the actual line mark of the property, and we've made a buffer of debris there to delineate the property, but for surveying purposes that line has been left, so you have line of sight between the line marks. The rest of the property is completely clear now, with the exception of the one tree in the middle, which will require excavators to remove it. But as you can see, job well done, and I guess the ground is now ready for any further preparation in terms of additional infrastructure. Okay, so we finished with this plot. I'm moving out now to the other one. So So we're gonna have to do some traffic control for the excavator to cross the street. But just letting you see the access pathway that has been cleared for the planting of poles and for the movement of the three-phase wires into the installation site. Okay, we now cross the street. What we did is we crossed from over there, right across the street, came up through here, basically following the property line mark as a reference. Then we're cutting the track in through to 58. So this access may be not as difficult as envisaged. There is a water course somewhere up here, so that's what I'm really interested in finding, because my primary visit to this site, that water course seemed like a significant feature that could pose an obstacle, but we'll see. Tractor just cutting through the wooded area here, so we should soon break out onto that lot. A lot of exercise with this field work. Certainly helps to be fit. Yeah, but we're forging our way through, and this would seem to be the easiest way to get in, equipment, etc. Very heavily wooded area, but to my understanding, a track had been cut here from before. Mark, this was a pre-existing track, right? It looks like a pre-existing track. Yeah. I'm looking for that, for the tree with the here we just came through from the access road, and there are two major water courses. Well, there's a major water course which we negotiated and found the path across, and there's a minor one here. You can just see Mark going down to that minor one now. This is the one I'm familiar with on my previous visit to this site. So we're now on site 58, lot 58. Through an access road that we have created, which, yeah, waiting on this side. I got name from this side. Yeah, it's not a straightforward entry, huh? We've had to do some we've had to make some decisions, and those decisions are good for the safety of the equipment and getting access to there. However, as a permanent entry location, that is a natural water course, especially the major one, especially the larger one. That's a major water course, so I don't know what happens to it in the event of inclement weather in terms of access. All right, but it should be okay for holding up to bring equipment through. It's probably the easiest way to bring through equipment. That's the minor course there, not much to do with that at all. But the major course is something that we have to actually walk it and work it out. Now this plot, this is how it looks now in its virgin state. I guess this will be the northern boundary. Over there will be the eastern boundary. That will be the southern boundary there, and this one will be the western boundary. So I think the lot goes towards the east through those trees, so we're gonna have to push down those trees. We're waiting on the surveyor to come now to find the landmarks. We're gonna try and make some access so it can come and find the landmark. But if nothing more productive this morning is that we have plotted and negotiated an access road into this area. Okay, I have to be very careful how I do this now. I am actually in the secondary water course, which makes me out of vision of the operator, so I gotta be able to get out of his way. But I'm trying to get some footage of what he has to do on the first water course, because that is the big challenge there. So we've actually walked this so that he knows what he has to do. And I can hear him coming through now. There we go. Pushing through. So that's the first water course there. So I guess I better start heading back to be out of his way, so he will not be able to see me. And he's moving very quickly. So let me get over here. That's the dangerous part of this job. Yeah. See him coming through now. So we gotta stay here and guide him through this more narrow section. But I gotta be out to the fall of trees as well, so let me ease back a little bit more. Yeah. Quite a hairy job here, but we've made it. The course we've brought in has been indeed. Just get back on my fluorescent vest. Well, you can see I gotta be over that way because trees were falling, and I guess you can see it in between there. This side. Come towards me. Right. Come towards me. No, he's coming right here. Look at the tree fall again. So we've broken through. That trap that we set has materialized. Thanks to a very skillful operator. We've made an access path onto lots of gear. Okay, and I'm out of harm's way. So everything's doing fine, and Mark is following in the track. I can see Mark in the bush. So he's now coming through in the track of the on. Mark, that's a serious piece of engineering we just did, boy. That's a serious piece of engineering we just did. That's it, boy, that's it. Okay, so this is how the lot looks before we start excavating. You see the tree line. The excavator is in the tree line there now, so this is just to give you a difference between the arrival of the equipment through our ingeniously engineered entrance, and this is the lot as it stands before we start to deal with it. Now this looks like just over an acre. This lot is slightly larger than the other one, so this represents about 1/3, bearing in mind that the horticultural property is to the west there. That means that the expansion of this property is up towards the east, where you can see the excavator working. So we're just trying to clear up there because that's really land will extend to the other 2/3 of the land got to be surveyed in that area. So we're just clearing a path there for Ryan, the surveyor, when he comes. He's on his way now. When he comes, he will have open area to work with. I guess you can take a casual stroll over there. This is a very exhausting exercise because with all the bush, you got to lift your feet up high, and walk through this bush after walking through all that jungle. So I expect that I'll be twice as tired this evening as I was yesterday evening. But at least that kind of walking around would be completed at the end of the day. Here we already see a situation of another. You know, this really shouldn't be a surprise, because based on the contour of the road, which is a constant drag up to Lancaster, it would be expected that the adjacent lands would move upward in elevation appropriately. So we're seeing another rise there, which again looks significant. So again, this will be the area for the PV installation, which is fairly flat, and then the other area, which is elevated now that we can see it. The principal will have to make a decision as to how to utilize that space. Okay, as usual, you know, you get to see the real McCoy when you get on the land. Let's see. Yeah, we're trying to scope out this here for the surveyor now, but I'm going to take a little trek, because by my orientation, I believe that most of the remaining area of this land is going up through this area. Now, let's see how far uphill it goes. But this would be a bit of a challenge for solar cells. Ooh, very loose footing, so gotta be careful. But there does seem to be a track here. I tell you, this is my Sunday morning hike. As you can see, all uphill. Now, I'm gonna have to track through this. Taking my time. I can see the crest. It's about 50 meters. But I want to see what it's like at the crest. A lot of rock involved as well. Gonna definitely slope in the air of that excavator. But what I'll do is I'm gonna turn the camera off and resume filming at the top. Okay, that's all done here. A very thick bush, crops of rock, and we're at the summit here. So let's see what happens. I got my guy working over to my left. This is the north. He's coming straight up and pushing down, because I believe the boundary is in this direction. Yeah. Could be a fairly bad tumble. This still is not flat. So you can hear the breakthrough down there now. See. If spatial is correct, this should be about the upper limit of the property. This should make up about the 4 acres, I guess. Let's just go here to this crest and see what's going on. Got to be very careful in areas like this. You know, it's unlikely that there would be sinkholes or anything, but you got to be careful. That seems to be another waterfall. So the elevation quite high now. This has been a serious pull to come up. So I told the tractor to come to the top, break through and push down. That's the most economical way to work. Okay, quite elevated here. Even when we break out, still not a flat area. You can see the excavator just breaking through the tree line there on instruction to break through and push down as opposed to push up. All right, so we're looking at what exists beyond. It doesn't seem to be a significant watercourse. It's just more foliage. But I don't think it comes much further back than this for the area that we're looking at. So this is a much less agreeable piece of land, however, in terms of getting generating power, some power off of it. Now, where do I walk back? It might be a good idea to walk back through the pushed out part. Let's see how that looks. Windy. More to the west coast there. Actually, he's working there. So I gotta go back to the point where I broke through. Hold on this side. I don't want to be in the blind side of the operator. But I'd be at a much lower level. I think that's my breakout spot there. I'm gonna head back there. Got a proper rock. I'm gonna head back there and make my way back down through the foliage. Quite sore. Alright, we know back down on the bottom. Just gotta make sure you're ugly for the footprint of the tree. now. That ridge that I climbed up on albeit through some pretty tough terrain, a lot simpler climb now, but you can see the floor of the land. It levels out up there for a little bit. Not really levels out either. Just give it some space there. But I think this block goes more towards the south. Just waiting for the surveyor is on site already, so he's working his way through. And he will give us the correct orientation. So we started to push this 58 down. Yes, yeah, probably not as, but I don't know. Can't even tell you if it's as problematic as Lot 8 or it's certainly not. As far as I'm concerned, it is not as useful a lot as Lot 8 in terms of the topography of the land. If during the course of any of this filming you just see everything go blank, you know you get hit with a tree. The surveying team is now here, so I suspect it's moving in the direction that I suspected he would be moving, but all right. I'm not gonna do much more filming today. Basically, towards the end when the area is clear, I'll try and do some more, but hey, getting a little dehydrated. Oh my gosh, as you can see that. Yeah, getting dehydrated, so you still need to take a hydration break. Trying not to move around too much, but I think we're moving more towards that side. Yeah, I believe we're moving towards out here. When I did the orientation on the site just now, yeah, it's good to clear those trees anyhow because we want to get some sunlight coming over that ridge. But I believe the plot goes more towards the south. So I'm making my way through this bush for the next time. The next time I come across here, I can be exiting completely. Down that side. But I think the business end of things is over on this side. You're looking for a landmark there now. second, keep walking. First here, but see these steel tip boots? Important for being on construction sites, boy, but very uncomfortable. Even with 2 pairs of socks on, I tend to get very sore in these things. That is my problem. And 2 straight days in the field, you don't get a chance to recover. Or your feet don't get a chance to recover. So, but luckily, from now on when I come here, it's going to be a much tamer environment and a lot less effort and energy spent just moving around. Unfortunately, still quite a bit of illegal dumping going on in this country. People will find all kinds of ways to get the rubbish up into these secluded areas rather than go to an authorized dump. Oh dear. Seeing another flat area over there. Not sure what that is. Okay, so that's basically 2 hours of our lives that we can't reclaim. The initial orientation was a bit off. The surveyor is now here. It's actually pushing in the opposite direction, so we're moving towards that direction now. This gives the lay of the land a lot more utility. The beauty of it is that we pushed off some trees that would have cast some shadows, so no problem there. We're moving down into the area now. To make up the width of the property, we know well, the depth of the property, we know the width. I'm basically sitting on the boundary now. And the depth would be somewhere down in that area. I just don't feel like walking through any more wooded areas, but we would have cleared over there. As I say, there's a benefit in every mistake. So the benefit would have been the removal of shadow areas, but the property actually starts from well over in the watercourse area, where we almost butt on a bound date, where we stop to make that decision as to how to proceed. That's where the property starts. So there's a substantial area of the property that would not be usable. We just probably build a bridge there of some sort over the major watercourse to make it possible during adverse weather conditions. But I don't see the point in clearing all those trees, because there's nothing really that we can do over there that's worthwhile. Of course, I will confirm this with the principal and make sure that he concurs with that. assessment of the land usage. Unfortunately, really I'm a bit sore in the feet to do that walk down there now. I think I'll just wait until they clear it. He's looking for the landmark now, for the width of it. I guess really and truly, I'm seeing March fluorescent vest, so that's not very far down he is. I'll just wait. Okay, let's start all over again. We are now at the track where the landscaping enterprise comes up. So all down here to the red mark that you're seeing there between the trees is the property. We're gonna leave a line of trees to delineate the boundary and to keep the aesthetics of the track. And then we're gonna come back up this end. The lot is more oriented towards the west than towards the east. We're at the limit here now, south. So then we're gonna push back north towards the water portion, and that will define the area of Lot 58. So this is the back gate. I just came to check to see if it would make sense to go and park my car here, because it's a quicker trek back to the car than the one we have already made, but the gate is locked. So it makes no sense. I'll leave it where it is. I head back up this track here. Towards the plot. One of the access points into the plot was via that residential area just shown. Might be a bit challenging for a flatbed. In any event, trucking it in by small truck is preferable. If we're doing by small truck, it's better to bring it in through here. In terms of dropping a container, this is a fairly secure area to drop a container in, because it's behind the gate and it's residential and stuff. People will probably tend not to come behind here. So that's a consideration, but not one I'm very positive towards at this point in time. I prefer just to bring the stuff down as needed. Okay, we just creating the boundary here now, the southern boundary of the property. And then we get pushed back north. So we just that outer line of trees that I was telling you about. That's it there. Probably not touch the bigger trees. I'm not sure. Probably need the bigger trees. Push down the wrong end. first time we came through here, it seemed like such a long trek through the bush. But the plot is just beyond that horizon there. It's getting a little dusty down here. So I can probably soon head back up. Towards the top. Yeah, well, this plot's now beginning to shape up as well. You got a considerable amount of flat, but there's also a fair area where you will lose stuff because of those water courses. I see some cows here, and I'll probably have to go and move so the excavator can work. Looks as though the rain is also going to come. So, might be in for a little bit of a soaking shortly. Okay, I guess we got a fairly flat piece here. So we just screwing it off here now. The section at the top here will be part of the screw up in the final, and the rest will be down in the water course in the trees that we wouldn't be messing with in terms of cleaning up. So we will finish this by the end of the year, and then when the tractor goes back out, it will solidify the course that we made in. Alright? Okay, this is the major waterway here. We can leave it like that, or we can build a bridge by putting a couple of concrete conduit pipes, large diameter, between boulders, and then packing the boulders with grate with a bridging, so that it will be all weather, because water will come through here at certain times, which will make this inaccessible. I've also asked the tractor to cut another access path from the back as an alternative way of getting in. But in terms of in between here, my suggestion is not to excavate this area. It is a significant part of the property, but it's not really suited for anything that we want to do. So I would just leave it rustic. Use it as an access point for maintenance, etc. Because as you can see, the property starts there by that red flag on the other side of the water course. So a lot of this area is not usable for our purposes, in my opinion. This is something that will be discussed with principal to see if he concurs. But I mean, the cost of clearing in here is not really worth it, and it just gives a very comfortable and shaded access into the property. So I'll just leave it like this. I think I did this before, but this is the land now. You can see 100% complete, and it's flat. 45% of it unusable during the gully, but this is flat. We doing some cowboying. Cow is a strong animal, boy. You can't make a cow go nowhere it don't want to go, and you can't stop a cow from going nowhere it want to go. So this lot is now finished. So the excavation is finished except for the demolition of one tree on lot 8. And that will be done sometime next week. And then we're gonna just get into the fencing and get this stuff sorted out and ready for deployment, ready for build out.